Welcome to Fast Five, where our four panelists weigh in on 5 separate topics. Let's get started. Sheetz with a drive-thru proposed near halfway. Colin, what do you think?
Okay.
Is there anything better than Sheetz?
Sheetz is a great dining choice, especially if you're on the go.
There you go.
The fact that it has a drive-thru, I mean, I think that's good for business, but aside from that, I don't see why it's really a news story.
Oh, will AT&T follow suit? That's a good question.
I don't know.
I hope so. I can just see that now. Drive-thru AT&T chicken.
Ron, what do you think about?
First of all, it's a great location. Ventura Drive, which is right beside the old Moose Club on the Downsville Pike on Route 632, which is at the corner of Halfway Boulevard and the Downsville Pike on 632 when you come off the interchange. Great location. Sheetz, I like the Sheetz boy. Helped the Sheetz boys put the first Sheetz store in Washington County back in the, I guess in the first 80s out at Buick's Crossroads. And one of the things about Sheetz, they will do it right. The other thing you better watch here is Love's Travel Plaza has come in. Love's Travel Plaza is now on Showalter Road.
But did they have a drive-thru?
It's not finished yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's not finished
They might be
yet.
adding
They
it.
may have a drive-through restaurant there. But AT&T's getting a lot of competition now. And they tried to stop some of that competition
know they
in the
did.
court system.
Yep.
And Love's Travel Plaza outlasted them.
Yep.
And again, when you talk about in the federal government, there's new things that need to happen. It's the same thing in Washington County. There needs to be some new movement in the county and some new players in town.
And that's another topic for another day. FDA recommends not to use Hylands Teething tablets due to toxic substance. What is that all about?
You know, I'm just going to defer to Colin on this one because I'm baffled.
So, well, first of all, the FDA is doing what it's supposed to. Now, the toxic substance that they're referring to is belladonna. Does anybody happen to know what belladonna is? It was used during medieval times as a poison. Now, in small quantities, it can be beneficial. What the FDA found is that the quantities that they were testing when they were testing this homeopathic, so basically it's an unverified or an unregulated quote-unquote product. It's kind of like a supplement, if you will.
Okay.
What they were finding is that the belladonna amounts were higher above the safety threshold. Now, if that's the case, and you can have seizures, you can have death, you can have all kinds of effects occur from this, I think the FDA is doing exactly what it should be. Now, will they be doing this in 2 weeks after all the heads roll at the agency? We'll have to see. Ron?
No, Colin just outlined it perfectly. There's no addition or subtraction to it. It's just what Colin said, and it's something. Thank good you have Federal Drug Administration that's there to do it. And
otherwise, every Yahoo could put out any product.
And I hate to see something like that done away with. The same as the people that don't think global warming is a real threat.
All right.
The only people who don't agree on that are politicians.
The Doomsday Clock is the closest to midnight since 1953. Ron?
Tell us why. Why did it move 30 seconds?
Guess I don't know. You
It
tell
moved
me.
for 30 seconds
What
after.
happened here?
It had to be Donald Trump.
Yeah, what happened in the last couple of weeks?
It had to
Yeah.
be Donald
30
Trump,
seconds.
right?
Well, you know, I read a little bit on this, and as far as, you know, the reasoning, they outlined more than just Trump. You know, they talked about nuclear testing. They talked about
Nuclear testing
global
where?
warming. I think I'm sorry, it wasn't a nuclear testing, but it was a missile test.
Yes.
In Iran, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So, you know, that's scary because we know Iran is working on an atomic bomb. You know, fortunately, we went in and screwed up all their centrifuges with malware. But, yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit disappointed in the fact that they focus so much on Trump, but at the same time, I do understand their concerns.
Colin?
I think the facts speak for themselves. I honestly am not as concerned with the missile test in Iran. Come on, everybody has missiles. They all do testing. North Korea, to me, is a much wilder card than Iran ever could be. And they're conducting tests all the time. As a matter of fact, they supposedly, at least according to their claims, have miniaturized their warheads to the point where they can be carried on some of these missiles that they're testing. And although their record has not been very good to begin with, they are getting better. That, to me, is a much bigger threat than Iran is. And the whole Iran situation has been over-politicized. I think something that plays into this, honestly, I saw this morning that Israel approved another 25 to 3,000 housing units in the occupied territories.
Right.
That is, the Middle East is going to blow up on us. It's going to blow up on us really, really bad. It's been blowing up on us for quite a while, but we're not doing things that are going to make it better. We're encouraging very, very poor behavior on the side of people that we shouldn't be encouraging it from.
And Israel, isn't there a point that Israel should back off of these housing units?
Which are illegal according to everybody's law except for Israel's and Congress's.
So what is it, why is it that this has to keep being perpetuated by the state of Israel?
They are doing something very similar to what our government is doing, is they're feeding into a certain segment of the population that's is seeing the occupied territories as being the natural right of Israel. And I guess the Palestinians just need to poof out.
And how did Israel get their territory?
Well, that was all taken after the 1967 war.
Oh, but they took it.
Yes.
That's kind of what I'm alluding to.
All right, last topic. Doey's house, which is associated with the Hospice of Washington County. They built it, or they were pretty well complete building it. It caught on fire and completely burned down, and they are starting reconstruction this week. Ron?
Doey's house is an interesting subject for me. Doey's house is going to be a $3 to $5 million organization that it's going to have 12 beds, and we're going to have expense in perpetuity to maintain it, to administer it, to do everything. I was hoping that Doey's house would be part of a nursing facility. The nursing facility would do the administration part of it, and that we wouldn't have that kind of money being placed just to a single building with 12 beds to be funded in perpetuity to take care of everybody. And when you say that everybody is welcome there, how does the people that get there, how are they going to pay for it? So how do we maintain that piece of property? I think there's several unanswered questions that I've had, but with Neil Glessner and Don Bowman and the folks that have supported that, they have done a yeoman's job on raising the money, giving attention to hospice into this county. Hospice is a great organization. I'm sorry to see what happened, and as it burned, but wasn't there a different way? Is there still a different way that somebody can administer that part and not have its own administration for health care?
Colin?
I'm going to defer, honestly, to what Ron said. I'm not as informed on the issue, and so I think that he sums it up fairly well, at least insofar as what I've
Ken?
heard.
I have to agree with Colin on this. Ron is by far the expert on this. I just, will say it was a shame when it was so close to being complete and that it burned down. But I'm glad that they're going to rebuild it.
Okay, excellent. Ken, you'll have the last word on that. Stay tuned. Last call is next.